Hey guys, and welcome to the Men's Forum.
Your guide to being a better man.
Here we talk about everything to do with dealing with the nuances of life as a man.
This is your safe space to finding solutions to any problem you could be facing as a man.
We're your hosts, Rajveer and Shaleen, and today we're going to be getting to know each other and asking each other really deep, uncomfortable questions.
We're going to tap into each other's mindsets on a deeper level today. I look forward to it. And I guess also the people who are watching us, I think they're going to get to know us better as well.
So far in our podcast, we've sort of given advice or shared like general knowledge, and now this one is more of getting to know us on a deeper level. So I'm really excited about this because it's like talking about ourselves for once. So we have all our questions on here. Shaleen did the due diligence of going through you went through like dating websites or something to find these questions.
Yeah, I went on Tinder, swipe right. I'm like, what questions should I ask Rajveer today?
So Shaleen.
Shaleen.
Okay, first of all, let's get this straight. Your name is Shaleen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your name is Shaleen, but then I've been introducing you as Shaleen.
Yeah, you're...
I'm sorry, man.
It's fine.
I swear. I swear I love you, but...
You don't have ADHD, huh?
So, your childhood experiences, what's one of the things that has had the most significant impact on shaping who you are today?
The dynamics of my family. I was born, 30 years ago? So we stayed in a very small outhouse in a shamba. So there's a very big house in the front, and then at the back we had a small outhouse. So the roof was a metal sheet, literally. Wooden doors, half eaten up by termites. I remember that I used to play in the sand. And I always thought this guy in the front, the landlord, is living such a beautiful life, He's got everything. He's got a nice house. He's got a garden. It was probably a 5-6 bedroom house. Back in the day, big houses were interconnected with each other. So he has 3-4 washrooms. He has 2-3 living rooms. And I'm like, wow, this is what I want.
And you guys were struggling in a small... How many bedroom was the
outhouse? Ours was just a bedroom.
One bedroom?
One
and
bedroom.
You guys were 4 people?
Yeah, 4 people, yeah.
Wow.
So we stayed there for 13 years. 13 years of my life, yeah. And I think my brother spent about 9 years in that house. Then we moved and we grew. But it was always a reminder that, that people think that just because we have good lives right now, that we come from, good bringing up, probably we're rich and stuff. But it wasn't. It was tough. It was hard. We barely have money for food. We'd barely have money for school fees, and you'd be thrown out of school every now and then. We went to a government school, and then again my dad was an alcoholic, which is one of my biggest triggers maybe in growing up and to be who I am today. He was abusive physically, mentally. He used to hit my mom, used to stab my mom with a knife. Some of these things you don't talk about. When you sit and you look back at your life and you're like, what are those triggers? I always wanted a comfortable living, but I think those things really affected me, and now I'm so aggressive in my life to achieve so much better. I don't want to be rich. I want to be successful, I tell people that money is not everything, and I think we've spoken about this earlier, and I think I'm on the right path.
That's actually so amazing. There's a time when I studied about these two twins. They were separated into different environments. So one was given an environment where, it was a very loving family, and it was 2 sets of twins, something like that, where the twins were separated and then they were given the same conditions in terms of one's a horrible family, one's a really good family, right? So in one set of twins, the kid that goes into the horrible family turns out to become horrible. So like you mentioned, your dad was an alcoholic and in poverty. So even this guy grew up with my life is horrible and it's just going to stay this way and I'm going to be just the way my dad was. Then in the other set of twins, the twin that went into a similar family, he grew up exactly I am not going to repeat these same mistakes and I'm going to, live a comfortable life and I'm not going to be an alcoholic. So just your story is kind of reminding me of that. I think it's really amazing that, you chose the route of, I don't want to be like my dad and I don't want to be in this poverty mindset.
Yeah.
And I want to and everything can change. So that's really dope.
What about you? Anything that you've experienced in your childhood that's
Shaped
made
me
you the
up.
man that you are today?
I think for me, it's very much to do, and I think I've spoken about it in a previous podcast. Women. I had this girl that I had a huge crush on her, and that crush started in like standard 4 or something like that. I remember just going to school to be like, "Yay, I'm gonna see her," and whatever. Yeah, this girl had a huge crush on her, and like I could just never speak to her, and I could never speak to girls. So every single year we're just growing, and like there's this part of me that's just like talk to her, talk to her, talk to her. And then I had a best friend at the time who also had a massive crush on her, and he used to talk to her, and every time I'd see him talk to her, I'd get so like jealous and stuff, man. And then eventually they started dating, and I'm like so this was in high school. Like, dude, imagine all the way till high school, like they started dating, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then they broke up. She dated other people, and like I still could never speak to her. So I think maybe in terms of like just general self-esteem, I wasn't the most
confidence as well.
Yeah, so confidence wasn't that great. So when I got into A levels, that was something like that entire experience was something that propelled me into a life of confidence. So a really good friend of mine, and you know him as well, Abbas. He was like, you're going into a new school. It's a new life, and you can be anything you want to be. Start talking to girls. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll try. And then I just started. Like I was like, okay, new school, new me, and I just started talking to girls, and my confidence started going through the roof, man. So I'd do all these like different exercises as well to support my confidence. Like, you know, I'd go to a mall and I would get down onto all fours and I'd start doing like press ups and stuff. I'd start standing on like platforms and just screaming at the top of my voice.
Wow.
Yeah. So all that to just boost my overall confidence. Now, once that confidence was built and like this entire issue with women was kind of solved, the next thing was that confidence allowed me to start pursuing business.
Okay.
So like as a photographer, I feel like when you have a certain fear that you're so scared of, and you just break past that fear, you're like, I can do anything I want in this life. So when I picked up a camera, everyone was like, oh, photography, what can you do with that? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'll show you guys what I'll do with that. And I didn't let anyone scare me. So there I am, like an 18-year-old wedding photographer. People are looking at me like, you're going to shoot our wedding and you're a kid. I'm like, look at my work. And guys are like, your work is freaking amazing. Okay, fine.
And then I think you're doing dental school at the same time.
Yeah.
Around that time?
Yeah, around the time. So that was the transition between A levels and dental school. Yeah. Then also the whole confidence of, getting into med school and being able to support the two, doing my wedding photography business and dental school. So yeah, I just think like that experience in of itself built my confidence to such an extreme level that today I'm able to achieve the things I'm able to. If I didn't go through that experience, I don't think I would be this confident today.
What I'm hearing out loud is you got over the fear of rejection, number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I think that is big, and I think that's going to inspire a lot of people, what you just mentioned. And growth, like nothing should stop you from growing, get it, get it, do it, get out of bed and do it, kind of spirit. And that is what you're saying, like, don't feel shy. Don't put yourself in a corner, be like, I cannot do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you taught me about these affirmations where I'm saying, I am going to do it. I am strong.
Yeah.
I am mentally fine. And, these are some of the practices that I feel that you've practiced, and you should be telling most of our viewers, like, this were my experiences and this is what I'm doing.
Affirmations, guys. You should be doing affirmations. I am the shit. That's one of the things, man. Like, I used to tell myself, like, I am the shit. I am the shit. It's kind of like a fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funnier story. I remember during my A levels when I was still practicing like the confidence thing, there was some exams that were being held at our main school hall for students from Oshel College. So these two really pretty girls came for their exam, and they were like chilling during break time or whatever. And my friends are like, oh, see, you're practicing your confidence. Why don't you go speak to them? So I don't know. I feel like my friends were being assholes, But for me, I took it as a challenge. I'm like, okay, bet, let's do it. They're like, go get their numbers. I went, this was now like my first full on cold approach. I'd never done anything like this before. So I walk up to them and I sit on the bench in front of them. My heart's just like, bah, 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 bah. It's beating like crazy. I go like, hi girls, what are you guys up to today? And they're like, yeah, we came here for exam, blah, 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 blah. So like, I was just trying to hold it together until I got their number and
Wow.
dipped. But then even when I went to like, okay, so I really need to get to class. Can I get you guys' number before I go? And they're like, why would we do that? We just met you. And my heart just went like, gaga, even faster. I'm like, no, you know what? I can do this. Like in my head, settle. And then like eventually they did give me their numbers.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Speaking about women, I remember all I had to do was just go to them, sit and smile, and they'd be like, "You have nice eyes." I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, you have eyes, okay?
So-
some of us don't have cheat codes in life.
We've given out so many tips in the past
have.
few episodes
Yeah.
about, it's not picking up women, but,
Yeah.
approaching women
Approaching
the right
women.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a very important skill for men to have because it takes you. Who was I having this conversation with? They were telling me that if it wasn't for women, we would still be in like the Stone Age.
True.
Yeah, I feel like men are so driven by the existence of feminine energy. And so they're just like, we got to get our shit together so that we can, court the girl or whatever. When all that was said and done, it was like I had to climb this mountain. And then once I climbed the mountain and got over it, my confidence just like, bam. And I'm like, okay, now I'm the baddest. I'm the baddest. Ain't nobody stopping me. So it just took that one really hard thing to do
Yeah.
to see the major benefits of it.
How do you think societal expectations of masculinity have influenced your life decisions and self-perception?
Dun, dun, dun. You had to bring in masculinity, didn't you? That's a complex question. Could you ask it again? Wait, how many marks is this, bro?
This one, it's 10 marks.
10 marks.
How do you think societal expectations of masculinity have influenced your life decisions and self-perception?
Okay, wow. This one's going to be really deep. You know how we're from Indian community, right? One of the things that I've seen a lot growing up is, mom's in the kitchen, mom's taking care of the house, dad's going out to make money. There was a time like my brother got married and the same expectations were needed from his wife. That was in my early days the definition of like, okay, in a marriage, the masculine is, you go and work and the girls like. So I didn't really know that this is masculine, feminine at the time. I just thought, okay, man goes works, woman stays home, cooks. Until very recently, like 2 years-ish ago, was when I really started understanding, okay, what exactly happens and how does it happen. So we've faced a lot of this feminism, which has kind of made us take a step back as men from dominating masculinity.
Yeah.
That's what I think I would term that, like just being too overly dominating and taking advantage of being a man.
So hold on to that thought, yeah. Recently, I feel we're evolving from it. I think somehow masculinity is meeting feminism somewhat, let's say, balance, understanding each other. And I know we've had conversations where we disagree a lot, but I feel that traditional masculinity is actually moving to modern masculinity where we're all adjusting with the time and age that we are in.
Okay, you speak of traditional masculinity and then you speak of modern masculinity. From what I understand now, over these number of years, I'll give you like a quick example. Like when someone is given a lot of power, like when you're made prefect in class, you're like, shit, I'm the shit and I'm gonna fuck all these people up. As in, that's kind of what the thought process you go through because you're given this power, this position of dominance. So men have been given this dominance throughout their lives because in the circle of things we're more masculine than women, right? So many horrible men have come into the world and they've dominated over their women, and this sadly is a vast majority of men. So that traditional masculinity was very like toxic, because you had all these men who were taking advantage of that power that they were given. You know, the feminine energy is very like, it's very relaxed, it's very submissive. And when you're in a place of submission, you can be taken advantage of, unfortunately. So a lot of men are at least understanding this now, but not the vast majority. So I call this divine masculinity, where you know you have this level of power, but understanding that and taking it into like a godly sense, that I do have this power, but I'm still going to respect my woman who's very feminine. So that's kind of how I look at it now.
I was reading something about masculinity recently, and they said that where it started, right? Let's go to somewhere where we can relate to. During war, right? During war, men would go and fight.
Yeah.
That masculinity was that brotherhood. They have to protect, they have to provide.
Yeah.
You know, they have to be the shield for the family. Now things are different. You know, I really feel things are different. And, you know, times are really changing. And we really need to understand that, yes, LGBTQ is a big community on its own. And things are changing. And we really need to accept that even we need to change. Right?
In what sense? Because we're going to disagree again.
I know. I told
what
you.
You're
Yeah. So
say. I know what
that's
you're
what I'm
say.
saying. You will have to find your soft side. Maybe you have to probably figure yourself out. Maybe there will be some characteristics of feminism sometimes that
Wait, are you saying feminism? Wait. Let's get some words straight. Feminism is that movement of
that's the movement.
feminists.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you
being feminine. Are you talking about
you're
being
feminine, right?
Yes.
So you're somewhat balancing each other, even in marriage now.
Yeah.
Think about it. Sometimes the wife is even the provider, right? Things are changing. Times are changing, and we need to understand that we have the spirit of free play now. Like,
yes, men and women have a level of femininity and masculinity in them. Okay, men are more masculine. There are some men that are just like extremely feminine, and these are the men that end up going into the spectrum of LGBTQ plus. The feminist movement, okay, it was a great movement, but it was initially trying to protect women from the side effects of having men overly using their dominance as the masculine men, right? So feminism went and took women and just made them really masculine. Oh, we can go and work. Oh, we can, we can do everything that men can do. Fine, you can, but you've in that entire agenda, feminine women have just been pushed over into being masculine. So if you take a microphone and tell it to become a camera,
I get you.
yeah,
But,
it's not going to perform what it needs to do. The balance is in that I feel a woman can bring up a child way better than I can. Of course, the child will need my support in certain places, but certain things women can do way better than me. And in the same way, a man can do certain things way better than a woman can do. So that's where the 50-50 is. If a man understands these are the things I can do like way better, let me do them. And a woman understands these are the things I can do way better, let me do them. And when they come together, they're freaking powerful. But now if you go and tell a man, hey, stay at home and take care of your baby, be a stay-at-home father, and then the woman's going to work. She's the man. When you have now a situation where men are like more on the feminine side and the woman wants to be feminine but she's more on the masculine side, you'll notice that in the relationship it's not like very attraction based, like there's not so much attraction sexually. And I feel like the whole feminism movement has taken women and put them in that place of being very masculine. And if you actually I feel like a lot of women out there, if you sit down with them and you ask them, like, would you rather work or would you rather just like be relaxed and chill? Would you rather wake up every morning, go into traffic, and then face a boss, blah, 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 and they tell you, I hate that. A lot of women will tell you, I hate that. Do you disagree?
Because I think we have a lot of powerful, strong characters, I think, in the world who are women. Also, in terms of very good businesses run by them, very good communities run by them, and also they are better managers, right? Automatically, that is what
Automatically, yeah, they're
that is
definitely way
instilled in
better
them.
managers. Yeah, because that's
So,
that's a powerful role that they can do. Yeah,
so again, their dreams, their careers, they're valid. They're
Yeah.
they're entitled to move forward in their careers. They're entitled to dream.
yeah.
But then again, this is person to person, and
No, you see, now when you talk about career, if you have someone who's passionate, like if you have a woman who's passionate about being a doctor, when the idea of needing to do all these other different things to actually make this successful for them so that it can make money so that they can keep doing this, you see, that's a whole huge factor in of itself. If you ask any woman, that frustrates the shit out of them, that hey, I just wanted to be a doctor, but now I have to do sales, and I have to work under my boss who taught. So their passion of being whatever they want to be is completely different from the frustrations that come with us guys. As guys, we can deal with that shit of like, okay, I have a damn useless boss who shouts at me, I can take it. But ask any woman, they hate that stuff. If they could just fully pursue their passion in their career without the entire frustration of it making money, they would be like super happy.
I kind of get your perspective. Also, in terms of, I think now, okay, in the Indian community, right? It's something that we're really aiming to address. Yes, being masculine is important. Being the provider, protector, making sure you're the defense system of the family. That is there. I think everyone should stick up to it, because these days people kick off.
Everyone or every man or every woman?
Every man. Okay.
Every man. Okay, fine.
So,
at least we're on the same page with that.
Yeah. So, in terms of what I've noticed of late, people kick out their parents, they didn't speak to them. It's sad. They don't take care of their family, neither their wives. They're forgetting the goal, or is it the goal, but the character of a man within a family, societal expectations.
Yeah.
What they see you as a man. We're forgetting a lot. Back in the day, men used to take care of extended families as well. They'd take a step ahead and make sure that they are fine.
Yeah.
They'd make sure that whatever needs they have, they'll find a way to give them the basic needs if need be, because that is our natural instilled mechanism to
I'm
provide.
glad you brought that up, and I feel like I'm going to use that as ammunition against you because you're exactly right. Okay, if a man is allowed to fully take up that initiative of the provide and protect role, okay, in order to fully take up your provide and protect role, when you come home, you need someone to nurture your wounds. You need someone to take care of you. You can't go out and keep chopping logs and come home and cook for yourself. That's the most difficult thing to do. But if you went out and you chopped the logs all day and that's all you focused on, and you knew at the back of my mind, when I get home, there's a lot of nurture waiting for me. And then...
Enough. Or you get a cook.
Or you get a cook. I mean, those are different dynamics. Those are different dynamics.
Just trying to.
I feel like the framing of the terms cooking and cleaning, they've been put in such a bad
way. No, I
in
understand.
such a bad way. But
and even we don't want to sound bad.
We don't want to sound bad.
Yeah, we're just trying to put things into perspective, and we respect
everyone's point of view.
Yeah.
But like these things have been framed so badly that when you bring up cooking with a girl who's, especially with a masculine girl, she'll look at you like, did you just say cooking? Like, who do you think I am? You know what I mean? So they've been framed so badly. But anyways, going back to my point, if you're going out there chopping logs, and at the back of your mind that you're going to come back home, your kids are taken care of, and you're getting a good meal, right? You can go back the next day and work even harder. Now, working harder allows you to make the income that allows you to support and protect. And then you can naturally share that with your entire family. Instead of, I am now a man and my woman is also on the masculine side, and she's decided that she's not going to cook for me, and she's decided that the house, it's just going to be left to the house help. So I have to come back home. I have to figure out, okay, house help, have you cleaned the house? House help, have you cooked the food? you're not focusing on your overall bottom line, which is going out there, doing your work that will bring in the income so you can support a bigger family. Am I kind of making sense?
So I understand your perspective and where you're coming from, but also we need to understand that now there's spirit of free play in terms of independence.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is becoming independent. Before there was always this factor of being dependent, maybe to a parent, to your husband, or probably to a kid. But now the way we spoke about mindsets shifting, in terms of change. I think people are now moving towards the independence.
But what does independence mean?
Like in terms of, this is what I mean, like the way you feel that if you as a man...
Question. Wait, Charlene, sorry, I'm just going to cut you. Independence, if you like your independence so much, why are you in a relationship? What's the point of a relationship?
But that's
if
what I'm saying.
I like to be independent, what's the point of a relationship? Sorry, I don't know. I don't mean to offend you or anything, but I just feel like this whole idea of independence has just been brought up by a very... You have that entire feminist movement. You had people who did it for the benefit of women just in general. You don't want women to be abused. You don't want women to be beaten, and you don't want women to be just pushed into a closet. You want to empower women.
Yes.
Then you had women who were super pissed, and they're like, you know what, let's take this a step further. Let's push down men. How do you push down men? This whole thing of independence. If you want to be independent, don't get into a relationship. Simple as that. What's the definition of independent?
I
One.
think,
What's relationship? 2 or more. So pick a side. Do you want to be in a relationship, or do you want to be independent?
Rajveer looks like he's going to beat me. Also, you cooking as a man does not change that. It doesn't mean that your masculinity rubs off.
No, it doesn't mean then that it's an open heart to different roles. And her open heart is on the feminine side. I'm not going to sit down and say, oh, cook for me. But just the thought of like, okay, this is someone who understands her role of nurturing and understands my role as a protector. That I think just the perspective in of itself. I can say, okay, babe, you know what? For the entire week or the entire month, I'm going to cook. Take care. But at least at the back of my mind, I know that she's a nurturing woman, and I'm a provider and a protector.
Super.
So that's kind of where I'm at. All these questions, I thought we were going to have like shallow answers, but like they've ended up being deeper than what we expected. So this might be something that's going to be extended over a course of the next episode. So with that, I guess we'll cut the podcast over here. If you guys are curious to hear more on these questions and answers, stay tuned, because we'll be posting the second part and the third part and the fourth part, maybe
or more
or more. It depends. Or we could just create an entire series. We'd love for you guys to drop any questions that you want us to ask each other in the podcast. Just drop them in the comments below or send them to us via DM. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Catch you next week. Like, share, and subscribe.
Peace.